is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. When you look at this defense, they currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ground when it's in the air.
So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Carolina punt team out there led by Johnny Hecker. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Fielded at about the 28. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with a give to White. Room here to run. And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
The Buccaneers had 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers will take over possession here up at the 44. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the run there. Now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
When you try to clear space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's the Panthers punter now. as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
To throw on second down. Waters. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 22 and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visiting Bucs who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Tampa. Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 8. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw on third down, Waters. And that is incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And his kick here is good. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as they ball got closer and closer to the double.
For it to curl in.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 16 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
Nice solid showing from him last week. Didn't blow the roof off with his numbers, but he certainly had a quality day and produced when called upon.
Throwing, Dalton. And his throw is incomplete. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. This crew against the pass issues at times. Right, number 24 charge in the NFL.
And even though it's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Dalton off play action. And that's into the hands of Stevenson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Breaks a tackle. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And they will take over first and 10. Well, Rashad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. First down, here's White. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Waters. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, they got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
If it was sunny, maybe this is a field goal attempt. But with the rain, they're going to go for it on 4th down. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards, and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Dalton now to pass. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Trying to get from the moment of the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Dalton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped him for no gain.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rachaad White. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. D.J. Johnson, the one who got there for the sack. A 4th down. Here's Jake Camarda on to punt for the Bucs. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
1st and 10 for Dalton. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out, but I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Well, Rashad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now.
And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll go up the middle with White. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd down, Dalton. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Jacobs going to try the middle. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rashad White. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Well, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I thought at first he'd try to run, but he just kept buying time to his right. Finally, nothing there. He wisely gets rid of it.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And Evans calls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Buccaneers are able to stretch out their lead. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this 1st half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown. Here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number one. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll fake the jet sweep there. Instead, hand to Jacobs up the middle. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Johnny Hacker now, standing just about on his own goal line. Let's take it inside his own 40. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Well, the Bucs going to take over now late in this first half. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both
going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Panthers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Passing, it's Dalton. That is taken in by Hurst. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. He seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told him, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. They go with White on the counter. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 73 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Opting to run again here with White. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Waters. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35. 23 yards the pickup there.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 2 choke plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Delivering a pass here to Evans on the out route. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Rashad White with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but It's been a tough go for him.
Yeah, every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. Here's Johnny Hekker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. This is taken at the 23. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Rashad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And even 100 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They go right back to White here on 1st down. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw. Waters. This is caught by Evans. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material. They run straight ahead here with White, and he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
This 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground with White. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Looking to throw. Waters toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Now back to the ground game with White. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because He actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a third one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Touchdown! Rashad White. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Bucs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. McLaughlin for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that was a long 11-play drive. And it was all finished off by a touchdown catch from Rashad White. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Dalton and the Panthers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. That's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for Buccaneer TD. Not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one, and even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
You see this a lot on corner blitzes because they don't often get a shot at the quarterback, so they want to take it when they can. But this time, the hit came too late. Easy call for the official.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. So Dalton now. He'll get this into the hands of Stevenson. Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lasted one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The Panthers on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. And it'll be Dalton again. Short throw underneath to Hurst.
And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them that allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he'll take this forward to the 27. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He completes it to Evans. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here.
Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, they wound up losing yardage.
And he will be out of bounds after a nice pickup. And that will also lead us to the 2-minute warning. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
Andy Dalton. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On second down, they'll run with White.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On 3rd and 2, Waters. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Evans. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Waters. And that one too wide and incomplete. Well, big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he is going to have the Bucs first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it. We're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Buccaneers, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.